Hello student, welcome in our 8th lecture. Student, in the previous lecture, we have completed our third chapter. The name of that chapter is Organic Qualitative Analysis. Student, in this lecture, we are going to start our fourth chapter. The name of that chapter is Chromatographic Techniques. So in that chapter, we start the first point, that is Introduction to Chromatography and Thin layer chromatography. So the learning objectives of the today's lecture is Introduction to Chromatography, History of Chromatography, Basics of Chromatography, Principle of this Chromatography, and the first type, that is Thin layer chromatography. This part we are going to discuss in the today's lecture. So we start with the first introduction. Introduction to chromatography. So this chrome means color and graphy means writing. So chromatography means color writing technique. It is a new physical technique of separation, identification and purification of a components of the mixture. Suppose student, we consider the example here. I have a mixture in that A, B, C components are there. So the separation of this A, B and C, it is nothing but the separation. And after separation, we identify which of this compound, that is nothing but the identification. And after identification, we purify that compounds from the mixture. Okay. So simply, chromatography, it is a physical techniques of separation, identification and purification of components of a mixture. It is used in many areas of study, particularly in chemistry, biology and medicine. Pigments, dyes, amino acids, vitamins, polymers, etc. can be separated by using the chromatographic techniques. It is used for purification and separation of organic as well as inorganic substances. Found useful for the fractionation of a complex mixture, separation of closely related compounds such as isomers, and in the isolation of a unstable substances. Means here isomers means what? Same molecular formula but this different structural arrangement. These are called isomers. So such a isomers are also separated by using this chromatographic technique. Then the next point is IUPAC definition of this chromatography. So first we must know the full form of this IUPAC. International Union for Pure Applied Chemistry. It is nothing but the IUPAC. Okay. According to IUPAC, the definition of chromatography is a physical methods of separation in which the components to be separated are distributed between two phases. One of which is stationary phase while the other is a mobile phase, moves in a definite direction. Means separation it is done on the by using two phases, that is stationary and the mobile phase. This is the IUPAC definition. Then we see the history of chromatography. The first true chromatography is usually attributed or discovered by the Russian-Italian botanist whose name Mikhail Sweat. This Sweat applied his observation with a filter paper extraction to the new methods of a column fractionation that had been developed in 1890s for the separation of component of a petroleum. That means in 1890s this Sweat was applied his knowledge by separating the petroleum components. He used a liquid adsorption column containing calcium carbonate to separate yellow, orange and green plant pigments, what are known today as xanthophyls, carotenes and chlorophylls respectively. Okay, so here these are the liquid adsorption column. Here he separate the three pigment yellow, orange and green. So xanthophyls, carotenes and chlorophylls are separated. So you only remember the name of this scientist Mikhail Sweat, who was first discovered the chromatographic technique in 1890s. Okay. Then the basics of this chromatography. So here this is the column. This column, it is filled with the stationary phase. On that stationary phase we added a solvent that is called a mobile phase. At the bottom here we place a cotton. Okay, so analyte means our mixture which we separate, that is called analyte. It is introduced from the top of the column, and when we introduce the analyte and the solvent from the top of the column, due to the gravity it go in the downward direction and we are getting a separation of the component, that is called eluent. Okay, so the terms which used in this chromatographic technique, so you have to remember these terms and meaning of this term. So first is the mobile phase, solvent moving through the column, that is called a mobile phase. Second, stationary phase, it is also called a stagnant phase, substance that stay fixed inside the column, that is the stationary phase. Okay, then the eluent, fluid entering into the column. Eluate means fluid exiting the column. Elution, the process of washing out the component through the column using a suitable solvent. And analyte, it is nothing but the mixture whose individual components have to be separated or analyzed, that is called analyte. Okay, so you have to remember all the terms which are related to the chromatography. Here the simple chromatographic technique is explained. This is a column packed with the silica, that is called stationary phase. Okay, then analyte is loaded on the top of the column. Along with that we also add a solvent, that is called a mobile phase. Okay, once we arrange in this way, the component of the analyte starts separating out as a distinct band. So in this way the distinct bands are separated. So during that we also continue the solvent addition. So what happened, this band go on the downward direction and we are getting in this way. So solvent addition is also continue here and we are getting a different band collected in a separate flask. So this red color band we remove in one flask, then this one is also another flask. So in this way the separation of the component takes place. This is a chromatographic technique, separation of a organic compound. Okay, it is very simple. So here the points are given. So analyte is loaded over the silica bed and allowed to adhere to the silica. Here the silica acts as the stationary phase while solvent acts as the mobile phase, which is flow through the silica bed. And due to the gravity or the pressure, it is go on the downward direction. The different components of the analyte exhibit varying degree of the adhesion to the silica, and as a result they travel at a different speed through the stationary phase as the solvent flow through it, indicated by the separation of a different bands. The component that adhere more strongly to the stationary phase travel more slowly compared to those with a weaker adhesion. Analytical chromatography can be used to purify the components ranging from the milligram to gram scale. So this point is important. Second last point, the component that adhere more strongly means the component which are strongly adhere on the stationary phase, they require more time to elution, and the components which are less strongly attached to that stationary phase, they are easily eluted first. So student, you have to remember this point. We can define the adsorption as the property of how well the component of the mixture sticks to the stationary phase, while solubility is the property of how well a component of the mixture dissolve in the mobile phase. So higher the adsorption to the stationary phase, the slower is the molecule will move through the column, and higher is the solubility in the mobile phase, faster is the molecule will move through the column. So these 2 points are very important, so you have to remember this point. Strong adhesion, then slower the molecule will move through the column, and higher the solubility in the mobile phase, then it will move very fastly through the column. Okay, so with this we complete the basics of the chromatography. So there are different types of chromatographic techniques are there. Out of that, we start with the first, that is thin layer chromatography. Sorry. This thin layer chromatography was reported by two Russian scientists, N.A. Ismailev and S.V. Strabers. Later, this technique was developed further by other scientists. This thin layer chromatography depends on the separation principle. The separation relies on the relative affinity of the components towards both the phases, stationary and mobile phase. Okay. The moment occur in which a way that the component which have a higher affinity to the stationary phase move slowly while the other component will very fast. Therefore, the separation of the mixture is attended. On the completion of the separation process, the individual component from the mixture appear as a spot at respective level on the plate. Their character and the nature are identified by a suitable detection technique. The TLC plate is the thin piece of aluminum coated on one side with the stationary phase, an inert material that does not react chemically with the sample component. A mobile phase, which consists of a solvent that moves through the stationary phase, it is used to move the components of the sample up through the stationary phase. A drop of the sample is placed near the bottom end of the TLC plate, and the bottom end of the TLC plate is then dipped into the mobile phase. The solvent creeps slowly up the TLC plate. This technique, it is very cleared by this example. So first we see the components of this TLC plate, TLC chamber, mobile phase and filter paper. So TLC plate, it is preferably ready made with the stationary phase. These are stable chemically inert phase where a thin layer of the stationary phase is applied on its whole surface layer, and the stationary phase on the plate is of uniform thickness and is in the fine particle size. TLC chamber, this is used for the development of the TLC plate. Then the mobile phase, this comprises of a solvent or the solvent mixture. The mobile phase used should be particular free end of the highest purity for the proper development of the TLC spot, and the development recommended are chemically inert with a sample or stationary phase. Filter paper, this is moistened in the mobile phase. It is be placed inside the chamber. This helps to develop a uniform rise in the mobile phase over a length of the stationary phase. So all this concept of this thin layer chromatography, it get clear by using this figure. So student, so concentrate here. This is a stationary phase. It is a thin layer chromatographic plate. On that plate, from this above side, a silica gel is there, thin layer of the silica gel. Okay, it acts as a stationary phase. So and here this black portion, it is called a solvent. Okay, stationary phase and the mobile phase, which is a arrangement of the thin layer chromatogram. Then here a line is there. On that line we place a sample which we dissolve in a particular solvent. After 5 minutes, on that we place a lid. So what happened after 5 minutes? The separation of the component takes place in this way. Okay, after 10 minutes this separation, it is distance is increases. After that, when the solvent move in up to this direction, here we remove the plate and dry in the air. Okay, then we mark this straight line to solvent line. This is called solvent front. Up to this we move the solvent, that is called solvent front. Then we measure the distance. A distance traveled by the component, this much, that is A, and distance traveled by the solvent, that is B. Okay, this RF, it is called retention factor. Then in that, the distance traveled by component to the distance traveled by solvent, that is A upon B, we are getting this RF value, retention factor. Okay, this retention factor, it is always less than 1, it is not more than 1. Okay, then the application of this thin layer chromatography, where it is used in monitoring the progress of the reaction. It is used, it is very important during the monitoring the reaction. Identify the component present in the given mixture, determine the purity of the substance, analyzing the uh, ceramides and fatty acids, detection of the pesticides and insecticides in the food and water, analyzing dyes composition of the fibers in forensic, analyzing the radiochemical purity of the radiopharmaceuticals, and identification of a medicinal plants and their constituent. So these are the applications of this thin layer chromatography. In the next lecture, so with this we complete our lecture. In the next lecture we will discuss the remaining chromatographic techniques. Okay student, thank you.